Hey friends, how you doing? Danny Morel here with Real Estate Sales TV. And we did it. We got through the year. 2013 is pretty much over. And for our last video for the year, what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd give you a little access into one of our sales meetings, and where I talked about on a mental basis what we have to do to prepare for the abundance and the wealth and the growth that is going to be coming for all of us in 2014. So this video is going to be a little bit longer than normal, so I understand that. But I challenge you because we bring up some scenarios, and during the video you're going to hear about two individuals who actually increased their production, one of them by over 4,000%. And so I think that one of the main things that that individual did was to expand his thinking and demand more out of himself. So get ready, guys, because I think it's going to be an informative video. As always, grab your notepad and a pen and get ready to expand your thinking and your beliefs to prepare yourselves for an amazing 2014. So this training, I want to thank two people for this, because they're the ones that really kind of helped me think about this. Actually, there's a couple of people. So I'm going to start off by thanking Claudia Valdez and Leticia Palos. Let's give them a round of applause real fast. Here's what's been happening, guys. For those of you guys that have been attending the role plays on a daily basis, you all have been noticing, and people are starting to break through this. But whenever it comes time for an individual to role play in front of other people, they go through like a little show. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And the show sometimes looks like this. Oh my God, oh, I'm nervous. Oh my God, oh my God, right? Or it sometimes looks like this. But there's always a show, right? And a couple of weeks ago, I started recognizing and acknowledging, hey, you don't got to do that show. Just believe in yourself, be powerful, and land the script and do the freaking script, right? And something happened where Leticia tested out of a script recently, right? And it was funny because all of us saw her, and somebody even used the word security blanket. Who was that? Somebody caught on to it. It was you, right? We're literally she stopped saying the word, and she grabbed her script and she pulled it back up. Do you remember that, right? And so we did that, and I started to think about, really in essence what we do to keep ourselves from greatness and what we do to keep ourselves from getting to where we really want to be. And I started looking at those two examples, and now, in case you don't know, Claudia Valdez, who's kind of like someone that is, maybe a little bit more reserved, a little bit more quiet, she has memorized and gone through not only page number 1 of the script, but page number 2 of the script. She already went through page number 3 of the script. And talk about somebody who, quote unquote, should have a reason to not want to do it. Claudia has an accent. English is her second language, is that correct? But she's doing it anyways. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. She's doing it anyways. And I think what happened was that, forgive me if I'm not mistaken, but that day when we acknowledged that, you were kind of doing the little song and dance, all of a sudden you stopped, and it's like, you really start to recognize there's no need for that in your life. There's no need for any of that, because all you're doing in reality is that you're trying to get approval for your ability to be nervous. That's all it is, yes or no? And if you get rid of that, and if you look past that, then you can really be your best. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So then what I wanted to do was I wanted to look for a video. And this is why I tried to get Chris Stewart to show you guys this video yesterday. Because I had this conversation with the group in the group coaching session. How many of you guys were there for that? I think we had a great session, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we talked about the fact that the reality is that in sales, lead follow-up is key. It's everything, guys. It's everything. You can prospect as long as you want to get business, but if you don't do lead follow-up, it's like if you're saying, I got one shot at this. And if it doesn't happen in this one shot, then it's not going to happen for me at all. The sales process goes like this. You prospect to get the leads, and then you follow up on the leads, and then you go to the appointment, and then you close for the sale. Does this make sense? And I started realizing that one of the major reasons why we don't follow up is, well, I'll let you guess. Why? Fear of what? Fear of rejection. Yes or no? Fear of rejection is the #1 reason why we don't follow up. Anybody know the second one? Fear of success. That's the #2 reason why we don't follow up. Because let's be honest, some of us have a story in our minds about what we are comfortable with producing. I know so-and-so takes 5 listings a month, but like, I take 5 listings a year. Right? Like, I would love to eventually do that, but that's not me. Oh my God, I went and I prospected today. I got 3 hot leads. If I follow up on 3 hot leads and all of them actually turn into a listing, that means that my story about taking 5 listings a year is now gone. How am I going to handle that? That's the fear of success. Does this make sense? And I want to share with all of you is that all of that crap, all of that garbage, whether it's fear of success or whether it's what you think is possible, is all because in your life there's this thing called the law of the lid. Has anybody ever heard of this? John Maxwell talks about it. It basically says that in essence, we have decided how far we can go in life. And we've decided this because of a couple of different factors: family, background, circumstance, situations, past failures. And I remember telling the group when we were coaching them, I remember telling them, you gotta realize that every single lead and every single prospect you come across will always tell you, well, let me think about it. Well, let me call you back. I don't want to list right now because it's the holidays. Let me call to my husband first. Everybody, everybody, everybody. There is not one contact that you will ever meet who will go, yeah, come inside, list my house. That's reality, guys. Are you with me, yes or no? Yes. So if we know that that's reality, then we've got to get past the story that we are afraid to follow up on people, because it's 100% bullshit. All it is you, and this is a wall, right? And you just keep doing this. And you just keep hitting your head on the wall. And the wall is the fear and the story and all of that. When you don't realize that this is imaginary, it's imaginary, guys, and you've been putting it up. And so yesterday, I'm on the phone, or I'm picking up Chris Stewart from the airport, and he shows me this video, and it's kind of funny how providence works, guys. And it's kind of funny how all this year, as we've been growing this company, stuff like this happens. I literally, the day before, used this example, and then he shows me this video, and I want you to watch it right now.
Training fleas requires a glass jar with a lid. The fleas are placed inside the jar, and the lid is then sealed. They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then, when the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behavior is now set for the rest of their lives.
Okay, so, I know what you're thinking. I'm not saying you're a flea. Let's get this out of the way. But where I do want to challenge you is to think that in this video and in this example, just after 3 days, the fleas were trained to not go above the lid. And the most important part, and this is the thing that I take the most serious, is that now their generations and their offsprings will automatically behave the same way. And so a lot of us, as we've been on our journeys this year, sometimes we are so selfish in that we make it all about ourselves. I make sales, I don't make sales. They said no to me, they like me. They shut the door on my face, they didn't shut the door on my face. You know, whatever the case may be. And everything we do is about us. And we forget, guys, we forget sometimes that when we are the light and when we truly decide to like break out of our box, do you know the amount of people that we can help? I mean, just to give you an idea, do you realize that just with a single idea, we're about to play a football game that is about to raise $3,000 or $4,000 for some kids with an idea. Just with a single idea, we put together a clothing drive that is about to give 100 suits or more to Homeboy Industries, just with an idea. I got a question for you. How many ideas are you not taking advantage of? If we were able to do that in 2 weeks, what was your year like in 2013? Like, did you really go for it? Did you really go all out? And the most important thing is this: how are you thinking like a flea when it comes to 2014? Because for the most part, guys, what happens is that we judge our plans, our goals, our initiatives, our desires, all based off of what we think is possible or not. And I'm just going to challenge you guys that what you think is possible is bullshit. It's just what you've learned. That's all it is. It's just what you've been taught. And it's what you have chosen to believe in. There is no way that any of you can deny the fact that you all have more production, more happiness, more joy, more abundance locked up inside of you. Yes or no? Yes. It's just reality. It's just a simple reality. But the thing that's holding us back is the act. The, oh my God, what are people going to think? Oh my God, if I follow up on them, they're not going to hear me. Oh my God, they're not going to like me. I'm going to actually get a listing. What would I do then? Oh my God, I have to buy a sign. Oh my God, I got to buy a lockbox. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I actually have to drive and put gas in my car to go put the sign in the thing. And we laugh because it's the truth. It's the honest to God truth. We come up with things that we get mad about, that we get bent out of shape about, that we get all jacked up about, that is complete, I'm sorry, baloney. The other day I posted a post on Facebook, and it happened to be about Chick-fil-A. You guys know Chick-fil-A, right? Only reason I posted it was because Claudia and I rarely, if ever, take the kids to do any fast food. And if we do, we only take them to 2 places. In-N-Out, because we've heard that it's of the bad stuff, it's the healthiest of the bad stuff, right? And Chick-fil-A, right? And we do that because they have options for fruit, they have good juices for them, and they give them a book. So like to me, I see that stuff, and I see like at least they're trying. You know what I'm saying? Well, then I read this article about the Food Babe, and the Food Babe challenged them, I don't know if you guys saw that, to take away, they were using ammonium and stuff like that in the food. And Chick-fil-A, to their credit, called them, listen to me, I don't care if you like the company or not. It takes a lot for a CEO of a company to listen to some freaking food blogger. And to say, listen, we'd like to invite you out to our company for a day. Please help us make our ingredients better. That was a great thing, wasn't it? Like, you got to see there's humility in that. Sure enough, I posted it up. And I get a post for somebody. Well, what about their CEO and his bigotry and his racism and he hates gays and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, my response was, I'm sorry, I just choose to look at the positive things in life. I don't focus on that. Just makes my life simpler and better that way. But think about what we do. Like, I know those were tough issues that were brought up, and I honestly just don't pay attention to them. But what are the small things that we pay attention to every single day that are dumb? That are absolutely dumb. And they cause us, it's poison that goes into our minds, and it keeps us from going out and doing the very basic things that we need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to sell 40 houses next year? Closed, guarantee? Get to work on time every single day. Prospect 2 hours a day every single day. Lead follow-up for 1 hour a day every single day. If you don't have an appointment, go home. If not, keep going to set an appointment, host an open house or 2 a week. You will quadruple your income next year. Guaranteed. Plan. Done. No more coaching for the rest of the year. As a matter of fact, all of us could be our own coach, yes or no? The problem is, and the reality is that we get in our own way. So now what I want to do is I want to show you 3 examples of people that broke through the lid. Okay? The first one, I have a little quiz for you. Okay? And I'm starting off with this one because this one is someone that, you know, all of you should know. So let's see if you know who this person is. I'm 5'10", 200 pounds. Most people that play my position are 6'2" or bigger. I was told I would never be a professional athlete. I played for 3 different colleges. I was the 75th pick in the draft, and I eventually became the Pepsi Rookie of the Year, and now I'm considered as one of the top players in my position in my sport. Who am I?
Danny Woodhead.
No.
Drew Brees?
No.
What sport?
Drew Brees.
No.
What sport?
Let's take a look at who it is.
Uriel. Uriel.
Guys, listen. I'll tell you something. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said this. And again, some of you don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't choose to focus on the negative. I focus on the positive. But the one thing is, no matter what, you've got to admire that man. He was born in freaking God knows where. Or where was he born? Austria or something like that, right? He went out. He wasn't allowed to bodybuild because he was in the army. He would sneak out to competitions and sneak back. He decided, I'm going to be the greatest bodybuilder there ever was. He came to America. He made movies. He freaking became governor. Yes, he had an accent. Get over the freaking accent. Right? And he did it. And you know what he said? I'll never forget this, because I've always tried to put a finger on like what it is that like describes me. He says, the one thing that I never wanted to do is be like everybody else. If you just decide to not be like everybody else next year, your life will change forever. Because it's easy to be like everybody else, right? What does everybody else do? Describe everybody else as a real estate agent. What do? You describe them. You know. What time do they get up? 10:30. What time do they show up to the office? 11, 12. They don't show up to the office, right? What else? Do they prospect or they don't prospect? They go to lunch, right? They have coffee. They're on Facebook, right? Everybody does that. But what do the best do? They have a predetermined time where they get to work on a daily basis. They prospect on a daily basis, right? They have a business plan and they follow that plan. They stick to their schedule. They have their emotions in check. They don't let emotions get in the way. They're not emotionally attached to what other people think about them. Therefore, they're not afraid of rejection. Does this make sense? So that was Drew Brees. That was Russell Wilson. Okay. Here's a second example of breaking through the lid. Let me see if you know who I'm talking about here. Let's see here. So here I am. Case study number 2. I've been in the business for 10 years. At 42 years old, I have a wife and a child, and I'm absolutely dead broke. After 1 year of working my tail off in the real estate industry, I made $3,000, and I was getting ready to quit the business. I decided to break through my lid, because it was imaginary, and this year, I will close between 30 and 40 transactions. And right now, if you look at the numbers, and if you look at what's been going on in the past 6 months, if you take out all the REO agents and all the investor agents, in the city of Rancho Cucamonga, in the last 6 months, there are only 5 realtors that have produced more than I have. What's my name? Travis. Let me repeat that again. I've been in the business for 10 years. I'm 42. I have a wife and a kid. I have responsibilities. I work my tail off every single day. I go to Target every night just to be able to pay the bills. And in 1 year of work, I managed to sell one house, which was basically a shack in San Bernardino, and I made $3,000 in 1 year in real estate. And if you look at the last 6 months of production, and you take out all the REO agents and all the investor agents, there are only 5 agents in Rancho Cucamonga who produce more than me. How does somebody do that, guys? How does somebody do that? And the biggest question is, why not you? Give me one reason. I dare you. Because Travis was a lot worse off than 80% of the people in this room right here. But what was the difference? Give him a round of applause. But what was the difference? He made a shift. He made a decision. He started to accept responsibility. Whatever happens in your life, guys, whether it's good or bad, guess what? It is your fault. Did you make the sales that you wanted to make this year? Guess what? That's your fault. Did you not make the sales that you wanted to make? Guess what? That is your fault. Did you make the money that you wanted to make? Guess what? That is your fault. Do you look and feel the way you want to look and feel? Guess what? That is your fault. Are you living where you want to live? Guess what? That is your fault. Do you have the money in the bank that you want to have? Guess what? That is your fault. Everything in our life is 100% our responsibility. Winners accept that. Losers blame everybody else. There's always a reason. And Travis finally decided, guys, if you think about that, that's like a 4,000% increase. Travis finally just decided enough is enough. How about another game?
Right.
Yes.
So we asked Travis what he feels was the
reason.
That's a crazy jump.
So it's a crazy jump.
It's crazy, but what he feels is like the one thing that, or many things, or whatever it is.
What was the reason behind it?
Right.
What's that?
So Travis, come up here.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It is incredible. That's why I bring it up, guys. So Travis, ready?
Yeah.
So what was, okay, one thing, bro. Because you literally used to sit at this desk right here. You would go to Target at night. You would do what you had to do. You worked a year in this business. You sold one house, right? And now you're doing what you're doing. If it had to be one thing, what was the one thing?
Became coachable. I mean, I just started following the blueprint. I mean, and I think a big part of it was that I had to, because we all have stuff that we fall back on. We all have those, like, this happened this way, this was good when that worked out, this, you know, this client came to me because of that. And I stopped looking for any of that. I stopped looking for any of that, and I turned the whole thing towards the direction of moving towards the business rather than waiting for the business to come to me.
So essentially what we preach to do.
100%. I know it sounds cliche, but it is 100% that I just all of a sudden, I came to you.
Right.
I mean, I sat in, which is very ironic, because I sat in that office that is now my office, that was, you know, the conference room.
Right.
And we had a discussion, and I said, I need to scrap everything. And I said, I need to start like this is day one in the business.
And I told you, I've been trying to tell you that for like a year now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And from that moment on, I just followed it exactly the way you told me to do it.
And guys, and this is the most magical thing about this, is that forget about this year. What do you think he's going to do next year? What do you think he's going to be doing the following year? And you want to talk about fleas? How has he changed his son's life forever? If you want to get real, if you want to get real honest with yourselves, and if you really love your kids, go be the example that you wish them to be in the future.
I mean, you guys see it.
Be the example. You know what I'm saying? Because what we don't realize, guys, is that our little story and our little stuff and our little small tiny fears, they're getting in the way of our destiny and of our children's destiny. And when you make a small decision like, okay, that's it, I'm done, just tell me what to do, and you be coachable, which all the greats do, that's when this happens, guys. Let's give it, yeah.
I also think too is to aim high. I mean, don't say you're going to sell 10 next year, because 10 is, you can do 10 with your eyes closed if you just follow the blueprint.
If you're going to sell 10 next year, sell them in January and February and take the rest of the year off.
It's true.
I mean, you might as well, right?
It's true. I mean, you have to aim high. I mean, because you have to understand that. I mean, the story is real, because if you have any doubt in yourself whatsoever, it's a story you're telling yourself.
Right.
I mean, because I'm doing stuff in my 43rd year that I've never done before. Absolutely. And I'm not done. I mean, I know where I'm going. I mean, there's just a lot of it. You have to aim high. You have to.
Give him a round of applause, guys. Let me give you one more story, or one more case study here, okay? So, at 25, I get married. At 28, my wife passes away. I'm brokenhearted, I'm devastated. And then I get remarried, And at 34, I decided that I don't want to be a slave to my career, and I actually want to have a life. So cold turkey, I just quit my job. I'm a manager at a great company, and cold turkey, I just quit. And I say, enough is enough, I'm not going to do this. And now by 36, well, my first year in the business, I sell 30 homes. But they were all buyer sales. And I realized that even though I had left my job, I essentially was doing the same thing. I was a slave to my business. And I realized that the only way that I was going to be able to change things was to stop everything that I had done in the past and literally reinvent myself only my second year into the business. I spent my first 4 months struggling because I decided enough is enough. I'm just going to follow the plan. I'm going to be coachable, and I'm going to actually do what it is that they tell me to do. And I'm on the phones day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, nonstop, because nothing's going to get in my way. And the first 4 months, I do nothing. Everything is very slow. But now, at 36 years old, and only really in my second full year in my new career, if you look at the last 6 months, and you look at the numbers, and you look at the sales in Rancho Cucamonga, and you take out all the REO agents and all the investor agents, I am officially the #4 real estate professional in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. Who am I? Gabriel Bolaños. So what's your damn excuse? I know, guys, everything we teach is tough. And I know that we teach it over and over and over and over and over again. And we teach it all the same way, and it's never going to change because the proof is in the pudding. It works. I also know that it's very scary. I also know that it's a big change. And I also know that there's a lot of doubts that we have to break through while we're deciding to do business this way. But the one thing that I know, guys, is that until you decide that you want to have the best year of your life, and that there simply is no excuse and no reason not to, and that everything, please listen to me, everything that you think is holding you back, every circumstance, every situation, every client, every little detail, it's because you're bringing it on. The client don't show up, it's because there was something. The client don't return the call, it's because there was something. There's always something. Until you accept 100% responsibility for everything that happens, and you declare enough is enough, 2014 is going to be my year. Damn it, you know what? I'm going to stop being selfish. I'm going to stop thinking that everything is about me. Do it for your kids. The one thing I want, guys, is I want Isaiah and Micah to know that they can do anything. Anything. That nothing can stop them. That nothing can hold them back. I want my life to be an example. I want to leave a legacy. And the only legacy I want is that as long as you can believe in yourself, you can accomplish anything. And once you do that, you just got to find a coach, and you got to surround yourself with amazing people that will all support you to help you get there. I don't care if you sold 12 houses last year. You can sell 40 this year. I don't care if you're brand new in the business. You can earn $500,000 next year. I don't care what your story is, guys. We have example upon example upon example of people in this company that are literally changing their lives. And I know for a fact, other than maybe 2 or 3 people in this room right now, there's nobody that's satisfied with their results. Nobody. And if you're not satisfied with your results, I'm telling you right now, every time Travis walks by you, and every time Gabriel walks by you, from this moment on, they are your bullshit meter. That's what they are. That's what they are. The minute they walk by you, just think, okay, get over the bullshit. Because that's all it is. There's some of you guys in this room right now that I promise you, I know for a fact, if you just let me help you and you just get past your little story, you can make $1 million a year in this business. I promise you, I give you my word. And I'll just be waiting. Because the best thing was, I never went to Travis and told him, hey, Travis, guess what? I want to talk to you about changing your life. Travis came to me. I never went to Gabriel. Gabriel said, bro, I can't do this anymore. I go, okay, you're ready? Here's what it's going to take. And the quicker you decide to do that, guys, is the quicker that your journey begins. And the longer that it takes to do it is the longer that you're avoiding your greatness, guys. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Albert, I'm telling you right now, bro, you're going to sell 100 houses next year. You're going to sell 100 houses next year. Okay? You just got to break through that, that thing, and you just, when you feel that, just show up anyways, bro. Because that's what it's going to take, dude. You're a lean, mean listing machine. You really are, bro. You just got to break through that little story, and you'll be there. Soshi, you have no idea what coming to this company is going to do for your future. What you've done in the past, is nothing, nothing. You just now got to make the decision. You know what I'm saying, guys? You already know. You already know. I always, Juan, I'm waiting on you, bro. I'm waiting on you. Barbie's waiting on you. Your son is waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows. You look me in the eye, I'm waiting on you, bro. I know every single one of your guys' stories and your little hang-ups. Once you figure it out, and once you figure out that you have a hang-up and you're ready to step out of it, come talk. I'll smack you around, but I'll tell you exactly what it's going to take. Then it's up to you to do it. Because I give you my word, Gabriel will be making $1 million a year in the next 36 months. Travis will be making $1 million a year in the next 36 months. Money, you're only doing a quarter of your potential right now. A quarter, bro. A quarter. And the minute you decide that sales don't happen in this little box and they happen all over the place, you're going to be absolutely unstoppable. We all have little mental hang-ups, guys. We just got to get over them. And my mission and my responsibility is to do this to you. I'm going to keep feeding you examples of people who are breaking through until you either break through or leave the company. Those are the only two choices. Either you're going to decide to step out of your fear and start participating and start getting with the program and start being coachable, or you're going to leave the company. And I love you when I say I'm okay with either one of them. But the best choice is just decide. That's it. Just decide. That's all. I don't have more to say, guys. That's it. This is the last meeting of the year. Next year we're going to have next week we're going to have a meeting. A couple things I need to talk to you about. And then other than that, the following week is the Christmas party. And it's a wrap, guys. We're going to end up, it's amazing, but if you look up at that banner, our goal was 500 sales, okay, as a company. And then I crossed them out and I added 650. And when you include Downey stuff, we're going to end up right at 650 transactions as an organization. So for all of you, give yourselves a round of applause. I'll tell you right now, because I was going to wait to do this, but I honestly, in my heart, believe that just in Rancho Cucamonga, we can do 900 closings next year. We really, really can. We can take this industry, guys, and where it's been known as an industry where there's been, lies and scams and doubts and shadiness, we can create the most professional, abundant environment that has ever been seen on the face of the earth. It's just going to take everybody to step out of their story and step out of their box. We can do it. And you might say, well, 900 transactions, well, that has nothing to do with me. There's your little box. There's your little story. Don't worry about that. How can you participate in that? How can that goal make you better? You know what I'm saying? Don't be the Chick-fil-A guy. Well, the bigotry in the gang, man. Don't do that. Just forget about that and focus on what you got to do. Does that make sense, guys? And hopefully the one thing you learned from this year, whether it was the rent debacle or now the risk management debacle, I'm open ears and I'll listen and I want to do the best thing for the company. It's about the future of the company, and I got to make decisions that, you know what I'm saying, that help us grow and help us stay healthy and ensure that when the market changes, which it will, that we'll stay around, you know? Any questions? No?
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. I honestly, you know, I want to say thank you to all of you. I just used Travis and Gabriel as an example because I happened to look, and I don't know why, but Laura and I were talking, and I happened to look, and I like saw Gabriel's number. He's number 4 in Rancho right now. Like, that is freaking phenomenal. And the most phenomenal part about it is that I know there's at least 10 of you that could be right there with them. And then I just happened to look 2 lines down, and Travis was right there. Freaking Travis. I close 1 deal a year, Travis. Tina, how many deals did you close this year? How many? 7? 8? 6? It doesn't matter. You're better than 1, right?
Yes.
So do you got a shot at this thing?
Yes.
Yes, you do, right? Yes. Claudia, how many deals did you close this year?
1.
Huh?
1.
1? Well, you could do it too. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just your decision, guys. That's it. Just your decision.